Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Didit I'm from Science Education Study Program at One University. Today, I will present my scientific papers about which factor affects students to choose their career in STEM field as multi-survey. Our research platform where is STEM education? As we know that currently a lack of qualified candidates for jobs that require a STEM education, and then Indonesia needs STEM-related talent to compete globally. Furthermore, citizens need to be STEM literate to better make personal and political decisions. And the last reason is what current energy and environmental problems will be solved through innovation and technology. So recently, some education program is interesting from practitioner or researchers worldwide. And one outcome of STEM education program is attitude towards STEM. So attitude towards STEM has become major goal for K-12 STEM education. Student attitude towards STEM are an important factor influencing student motivation to learn STEM subject and pursue a STEM career. So, while there has been considerable research conducted about student attitude towards science, but there is less research available about student attitude towards technology and engineering. Recently, several instruments have been developed to measure student attitude towards all four STEM fields at once. However, these instruments do not include items about integrated STEM education, which focus on matching for STEM subjects area. Especially in Indonesia, STEM education is still done partially, do not integrate. So, in fact, the discipline of technology and engineering have not yet become a constant form of education at the elementary, junior high school, and senior high school. So it is fact that students not awareness about importance of STEM education in their life. So our primary purpose of our study was to assess student interest towards STEM career, whereas a secondary purpose was to investigate a factor that influence it. Our research method is survey. There are five steps of survey. The first one is we review a literature on STEM integration as well as current instruments that measure student interest towards STEM career. The second step is the instrument that used in study we adapt from instrument developed by Pure et al. 2013. It is STEM Career Interest Survey or STEM CIES. And the third stage, we send the survey containing 40 items to 100 students in 7th grade level at junior high school. And the fourth stage is a student was given 30 minutes to fill out the census questionnaire. And the last stage is all respond of to the 40 items where skill from strongly disagree is 1 to strongly agree is 5. This is our survey method. The participants that include in our study are 100 students from preschool. For our student, participation was voluntary. Students fill out the survey during their science class and there was no missing data. Instrument that we use in our survey is STEM CIS that developed by Pierre et al. 2013, and STEM is associated with social cognitive career theory, or SCCT, consisting five aspects. The first one is self-efficacy. The second is personal goals. The third is expectation and personal input, and the last aspect is contextual support. This is theory about social cognitive theory. Our research from this study is, as we know from this figure, we can see that student interest or towards science career is higher than student interest in math, technology, and engineering. This finding can also be interpreted that students tend to choose career in science and mathematics because they are more familiar about two disciplines compared with technology and engineering. Science and mathematics are compulsory subjects for junior high school students. Furthermore, technology and engineering have not been taught in maybe in elementary school, junior and junior high school. This fact concludes that students not aware about alternative with engineering and technology. In this figure, we can see that the factor that influence students' interest towards STEM careers based on SSCT theory. As we know, this figure shows that the factor that most influence students' interest in the STEM are personal goals. Yes, personal goals. This finding indicates that individual goals have a lack influence on interest in choosing a future job. If students determine their life goal for a career in science, technology, and mathematics, they will have enough confidence in completing work in the industry. And in addition, they will be motivated by jobs related to science, technology, and mathematics. This figure also shows that the most influencing factor to choose factor for students to choose a career in engineering is outcome expectation. This finding can be also interpreted that outcome expectation affects interest in career in engineering when interacting with self-efficacy. For example, if a student feels that their success in engineering will please their parents, they may be harder to achieve, and the success will encourage future interest in engineering. Furthermore, an analysis of student interest was also carried out on its STEM subdimension. Student interest in career in science is influenced by aspect personal goals. In addition, outcome expectation aspect does not contribute to determining student interest in career in science career. For the subdimension of mathematics, all aspects have a big influence to determine student interest in mathematics career. So, this study give me information that student learning experience at school will determine the future career choice. The learning approach should be promote integrated learning that can facilitate students to work actively and see the relevance of them in real life. By introducing STEM early to students, they will have a self-confidence and clear personal goal for a career in the STEM area. Furthermore, students who are familiar with a STEM learning experience will of course find it easier to have a career in the field and be able to solve STEM issues. Our conclusion about our research, the first one is student, sorry, student interest in career in science and mathematics was higher than in engineering and technology discipline. Judge, Judging from the SSCT aspect, the personal goal aspect greatly influence student interest in STEM career. We saw that if students have a personal goal in these areas, then they will have high self-efficacy in this discipline. Therefore, this study provides evidence that it is important to develop integrated STEM education program in junior high school. The introduction of STEM education can provide students with an experience of the importance of this for discipline in various future jobs. This is my presentation. Thank you for your attention. And the last is Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.